You want to
I'm
prove so
say
bad
it.
you can do it. You
I'm more Chief
Y'all
Mr.
can't be
White.
multitask. Y'all are one dimensional. Y'all just gonna stick to this. Y'all gonna just
Nah,
do
it ain't
it.
about one dimensional though, man. Maybe
You know
that's
how to
why
be
I'm single. I do this type of shit. I keep running into this type of shit. Fuck.
Eddie,
that's why you're single.
Eddie,
you're right. That's why you're single.
Once you
Yeah.
submit to it, you'll be okay.
Nah, I feel you. I need to go into a position of what was the word? Substance. What was the word? The
Submission or self-love?
submission.
No,
Nah,
you don't
whatever.
need to submit to a woman. You should know. You should know.
No, what was the bullshit y'all said at the beginning of the
You
show?
stop being bitter, though, Eddie. That's what you should do. You should really stop being bitter. That comes through a lot in
What
what
makes
you.
him
Yes, he
bitter?
needs
I'm not bitter
self-love,
at all.
Asia.
Self-love. That was the nonsense
Yes.
that I said
Love
earlier. Yeah,
thyself.
that's what it is, Q. I'm gonna go into a space of self-love and start lying to myself and doing all that
Love
other dumb
yourself
shit
out of
that y'all
bitterness.
do.
Start loving you, Eddie, and you will
Right.
attract love.
Why?
Right.
Love thyself.
Why?
That's the real type of love.
Question though, why when Eddie? Because I know you guys are those his your truth people, right? Like you believe in people telling their truth or some bullshit like that.
Right.
So with that said, why when Eddie speaks his truth, why is he all these things when he could be speaking it from his experience? Why don't we respect it?
So his truth can be coming from a place of bitterness, though, right? And still his truth, right? That's understandable. It's still his truth, but it's coming from a place of bitterness.
But yours sounds the same as his, Asia.
So it does absolutely does not, because I have said repeatedly how much I love men and respect men and want a man to lead. I've said
the
that.
Podcast.
Repeat. Run them. I mean, I can send you the clips tonight when we got this one. Like, there's so many podcasts where I've sat there and said my final word at the end. We sit there and say the Jerry Springer thing. I've said, men, we need you. We want you. The world will be better with you than without you. I've said that plenty of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard Eddie say that about women. I have never heard Eddie say anything lovingly towards women. It is women don't have accountability. They're emotional. They can't lead. Like, there's a lot of things negative. I've never heard Eddie say anything positive about women. You can run it back. I have said I love men. I've said that plenty of times. I've said I need them. We need men. The world needs men. We need Black men especially. I've said that several times in my last final statements, and I will run it back to you, Hamp. I have never heard Eddie say that.
Well, Asia,
down on that. So I do not like Eddie.
To paint the appropriate picture, you say y'all need to step up and do this and that. You be trying to give instructions to men based on what you think we should do. That's not the same thing as saying how valuable we are.
I'll send you the clip, and I promise I'll send you the clip. I know for a fact I said it.
Send it to me.
Sure will.
And all that doesn't mean that I'm anti-woman.
I want you to replay it too, and I want you to replay it as well.
Right.
Yeah,
I've said it.
I have a question.
Not having said something on this podcast does not mean that I'm anti-woman. I have clearly on multiple occasions said that I only date Black women, right? So just because I didn't go on some Langston Hughes soliloquy about Black women does not mean that I'm putting her down. None of that. What happens is that we can't be critical in any way, shape, or form about our own women. And it goes back to this larger discussion as to whether or not, we can be protective of y'all. That makes it profoundly difficult when we get these type of critiques.
So,
like I say, one thing that's remotely softly critical and it's I'm bitter, I'm broken, who hurt you, all these other narratives.
Women, Eddie, what do you love about Black women? Tell me what you love about Black
women.
No,
I'm not going into that trope, and that's another type of shit right there where you ask these level of questions when it doesn't satisfy. I've given you my response, and if it's not satisfactory, you could take a long walk off a short bridge. Like, that's what it is.
No problem. You answered my question, sir. Thank you.
I did answer your question.
I said you did. I said you answered my question. Thank you very much. See? Stop being so angry. I said thank you. You did.
You can't even help it, son. 10 seconds didn't even go by. Stop being so angry. It's some bullshit, man.
Adrian, what was your question?
My thing is just we got to be careful how much we keep saying men. Y'all don't need men. Like that's dangerous. That is so dangerous. It's already coming off like y'all don't need us to raise the kids. Y'all can do that by yourself, right? Now you're saying, hey, we don't need y'all to protect y'all. So as men are coming up in these younger adults. Okay, y'all don't need me to do things, so we're not going to step in any of those situations because y'all don't need us. But then even with the with what Q said earlier about the nigga beating her ass and nobody jumped in, y'all needed a man to jump in. She needed a man to jump in, and I get that y'all don't have it. But the more y'all keep pressing at us that y'all don't need us, the further back we will continue to fall. So we got to be careful with having all of these different examples.
No, go ahead.
I was saying that, yeah, it's just a lot of examples and cases in which, you know, women are saying they don't need men. And we just got to be careful with that.
Yeah, no, it's real. Yeah, I saw a clip. They said that they learned how to fertilize an egg without sperm, and then the fertilizer they used didn't have any Y chromosomes, which means that no men would ever be born, which was totally bullshit. You find it in some insects where they can produce workers only, like mules. They die quickly. You know, they can't reproduce. Worker insects that can do that, and then they manage to fertilize a mouse egg with dead mouse cells, which that's such a low fucking life form. Mice don't even have bones. Like, that's a stupid thing. But they took that and like, yeah, they fertilize an egg. No, bitch. It's a mice. It's a mouse. And these are insects. But people reach to your point, right? To try to say we don't need men. We don't need men. But we see in obvious situations, like, our value is still the same. You know? I don't know. It's interesting, man. Any final thoughts on this one? Good. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Do me a favor, hit that like button right now if you can. Once again, we are streaming on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook on our Facebook page. We also had a podcast popping. We got like 5,000 listens, right? That's how it should be on the podcast on Apple, Anchor, and Spotify in the last like 2 weeks. So something catching fire, you know what I mean? That's good for us. So shout out to us. Listen, man, I don't really like Jerry Springer, and all the links are in the description. I don't really like Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Chief, final thought.
Oh man. We are I believe we are more needed than what people would like to acknowledge that we are. And I also believe that the fellas, men, should look into what makes a good leader in all aspects of life, from work to relationships and whatnot, and then aspire to be that. But women should also define what that means to them and be able to effectively communicate that, so we can kind of meet them halfway. But walking into situations like that in a negative light would never help the relationship grow or your partner.
Word.
That's all I got.
No doubt.
I believe that men are still needed for protection. I need a man to still lead. And I think that's all I got today. And I'm 40, y'all.
Oh, word. Yeah, man, you looking like you 38 though. I fuck with it. Chef?
Love of self, self-love, all those good things. There's nothing wrong with being openly critical about your wants, your needs, and don't allow anybody or anyone to remove that from you. There's no bitterness in that.
Miss Nay?
Men, we do need you. Don't get it misconstrued. We do need you, but we also need you to do some inner work and get some self-love, work on your self-love journey so that you can be effective leaders and effectively protect us women. Otherwise, you're going to find us going to the other side.
Mr. White.
Yeah, she was largely on the other side though. That's what I mean. We spent 2 hours crushing us, and then you want to end off with a little 20 seconds. But we do need y'all. Man, listen, yo, man, we're valuable, yo. Keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Women need us. The world need us, even if they realize it or not. So continue to press forward.
Asia.
So we need each other. Men and women need each other. Men, from a woman's perspective, we need you, but men, you also need us. Where you're weak, we are strong, and where we are weak, you are strong, and that makes a stronger unit. And so I want to make sure that we practice loving each other collectively and individually. Love yourself individually so that you can know how to love me. If you don't love yourself, you can't love me. Self-love is very important. Love of self, self-love, whatever you want to call it, whatever connotation, it all boils down, making sure no harm comes to yourself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or physically, and do the same for your partner.
Mary.
Black men, we need you. We want you. Just get y'all shit together a little bit more.
You know, we hear that so often, and it's a lot of propaganda. 51% of black men are single and childless. Right? Black men still make more money than black women. Black fathers are much more present, and you see that in a second generation NFL, NBA player, just as a small example, where their fathers are always there. But we continue to spew this and perpetuate this propaganda, talk about men got to do this and the third. We have, but there's still so many things pointed against us that are louder than our actual actions, and I feel like we need to stop that shit. Men, here's what you do: you get the yacht by grinding it out. She'll get on the yacht by being pretty. So know that and understand it. Work hard, lift weights, read books, get educated, make yourself as presentable as possible. And then the women will come. Don't focus on them. Focus on your end goals and watch what happens. Don't listen to this shit. You become the real best version of yourself. I don't know about self-love. Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so, Chief, let me say something to you real quick. This is my final thought, Chief. Jesus Christ. Cross-eyed ass. So, I'm too busy talking shit. And see, in terms of the self-love thing, I think it can be seen as such, but it's a goal though. Right? It's my path to success. If it looks like I'm loving myself, so be it, right? But I have purpose. That's what men need to focus on. Purpose and getting to that goal. If love happens to happen, so be it, right? But either way, you got to be successful and fend for yourself, right? Because we don't have all the handouts. So if it comes up as love, so be it. But thanks, Chief, for fucking up my beautiful final thought.
You walked right into the self-love topic, what we was talking about. So,
you had one job, Chief. Mute.
I did.
Yeah, man. I like it. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.